at 002. 798's for Selena, 79 miles an hour. Ryan goes at 791 at 81 miles an hour. Alexis Clay, power side and make taps. Red light over the right lane. Alexis goes green. .815 for Alexis. 78 miles an hour. Right hand lane. 875. 73. Jojo Dewey over the right lane. Karen Borelli, power side from Cornwell Way. Jojo from Port Orchard. In the right-hand lane. I heard you already say that. That's the car he drove there a year and a half ago or so. Jojo a little tardy. Kalen goes green with an 017. Nice light. Runs 798, 80 miles an hour. Jojo, 795, 81 miles an hour. Ian Parabolis not going to take a single down the left-hand side of the racetrack. Back here we've got one junior street single in the Cornwell 2 lane. Mitchell Condon out of Puyallup, 15 years old, running the 03 Dodge pickup. Okay, we got one junior street single in the Cornwell tool lane. Mitchell Condon out of fuel at 15 years old.
07 reaction time for the Dodge.
Pickup.
Just going to cut to the 8th mile. At the 8th mile, it's 225, 68 miles an hour.
Okay, we got one junior street single in the Cornwell tool lane. Mitchell Condon out of fuel at 15 years old.
07 reaction time for the Dodge.
Pickup.
Just going to cut to the 8th mile. At the 8th mile, it's 225, 68 miles an
Just
hour.
finished. Rick Green now pulls up in the Mustang, taking on the Chevelle over here in the left-hand lane. Okay, we got one junior street single in the Cornwell tool lane. Mitchell Condon now out of fuel at 15 years old.
07 reaction time for the Dodge.
Pickup.
Just going to cut to the 8th mile. At the 8th mile, it's 225, 68 miles an hour.
That reaction now goes to Boone with an 05 Chevelle over here. And the Chevelle's going to take the strike with a 1063, 124 to Green's 1258. That's 104. The Cornwell tool lane. Mitchell Condon now out of fuel at 15 years old.
07 reaction time for the Dodge.
Pickup.
Just going to cut to the 8th mile. At the 8th mile, it's 225, 68 miles an hour.
That reaction now goes to Boone with an 05 Chevelle over here. And the Chevelle's going to take the strike with a 1063, 124 to Green's 1258. That's 104.
Well, 009 reaction time power side. Emmett McKillop, 906, 176 miles an hour. 906, I'm thinking he's shooting for the 890 Super Comp number. Oh, the license falls out of the Monte Carlo. Actually, that's not a Monte Carlo, that's a Buick. We're 14 reaction time for the Buick and license pass. Mine's 1006, 133 miles an hour. Four motorcycles going down Tower Lane, way out in front, one's 1005, 139, left-hand, right-hand lane of 1123. So, the bike on the right lane pulls in deep, turns out the top bulb. On the side is a little reluctant to turn it on the second bulb. The 94, 119 right-hand lane tower side with a 1291. So again, if you're testing tune, you got 3 tires, you should be in 1 and 2. If you're testing tune and you have slick tires, you should be in 3 and 4. If you're riding a motorcycle, it should be lane 6. 12:07 out of the tire side at 113. Eleven 53 out of the right-hand lane at 116 miles an hour, tire side 1330. I think this pair ran each other four. The big pickup truck over in the right lane. And that Pontiac Trans Am horn call sign. $16.43 tire side and a $15.64 at 92 miles an hour in the right-hand lane. Load the beam here in the tire side in the master. So that means he left before the key was activated. Will not get a turn. Right-hand lane, 1573, 66 miles an hour. Side 67 Dodge Dart, Nat Condon over in the right lane. David Kunzen here in the tower side from Kent. Camaro. Wow, nice double overall reaction time out of the Dart.
It's a great reaction time. Left lane gets down first over the 1025 at 128 to the 1118 at 119 for Condon over in the right-hand lane. Red hotter now in that Camaro. Beautiful car over the right-hand lane. Go ahead. Potter goes through at 10:06 and 137. Left a bit earlier. Left lane goes through in 11:82 at 114. That's a beautiful car that Potter has. I love that thing. problems out of the right-hand lane. Left hand goes through at 1350 at 102. We got a slow rollover in the right-hand lane. Goes through at 2147. It's a big difference, 2147. He was running 11s.
Juniors, I need you to lane number 5. Juniors, I'm looking for you to lane number 5. Make it lane number 6. Juniors, I need you in lane number 6. So once again, looking for juniors qualifying number 2 to lane number 6. The Speed Factory gets ready to shut off. Oops. Bit of a slow start. What a problem with the Speed Factory hot rod.
He's going to die on the track too. Hope he takes the early turnoff.
You're not allowed to be up
Look
here.
like he's going to.
No.
Doesn't look like he'll even make it there.
The only people who are allowed up here are me.
Oh, he took it.
No, good for Speed Factory. Very good. He took the early turnoff.
Not from up here.
So somebody's going to have to go up and get the car at the top end of the quarter mile.
Going out everywhere. So no, they don't want people
They're either
being caught up
very,
here. No.
very fast or they fall apart.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I won't read that time. 30 seconds. Or 30 miles an hour, 31 seconds.
Who was it that got the perfect light?
Oh, really?
The junior tracks.
Oh, Ian Theophilus, that's what it was.
Oh, that's right.
That's too bad I didn't have a perfect light for him.
Probably can't get any trophies the same as Dad.
Angela Peterson out of Ian with a 65 Chevy Nova wagon.
Yeah.
Taking on the big Buick over here in the left-hand lane, your NC Machinery Caterpillar lane. One more time, I'm looking for juniors. Attention in the pits. Juniors, I'm looking for you to lane number 6. Juniors, qualifying round number 2 to lane number 6.
With no national coming, why are they practicing a pro tree?
Is there a divisional coming up anywhere in there?
No, I think they because they're not having any in Oregon, they're not having any.
Top end, Dustin Ward goes through at 981 at 136. Bentley goes through at 1017 in the right-hand lane at 130. Challenger now in the left-hand lane. Taking on Paul Thomas out of Kent in the 85 Blazer. Well, that's one wheel standing hot rod over in the right-hand lane. Wow. 1039 out of the right-hand lane at 125 to an 1197 at 114 in the left-hand lane. Corvette Roadster now pulls up over in the right-hand lane. It's going to get a single down the right-hand side to Cornwell tool lane.
Hey, Joe, get those bikes out of lane 6 so the juniors can come in there.
Copy that.
Guess since I don't work there anymore.
Double 09 for that roaster. Nice job. The Corvette roaster takes the stripe top in. How about a 10.06 at 164?
I can't eat this as fast as you do.
Why don't we eat half? You're eating the whole thing.
Oh,
That's why it seemed like it is. I still got half left.
oh.
I figured you want to eat yourself.
Brandon Attila's here.
Units, this guy in the bike that's pulling up on deck is a license pass.
So is Mr. White. He just pulled his Camaro up over there.
Yeah, bringing the juniors out of there just makes too much confusion.
Yeah. Well, especially if I think they should go back to the fall match. That's not my call. If it was up to me, they would be back there.
Couple of bikes heading down the quarter mile. Left lane's out in front. With the better reaction time at the top end, he'll take the stripe with a 13 at 109. The right lane goes through 1484 at 88 miles an hour.
That might be his stomach for him.
Yeah, 344. The other guy has 612. Oh, the Stakers out there with somebody walking back with their mask on.
There's a nice looking bike in this lane.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You got all shined up and everything. I like the way it's owned some of the parts on it.
I know. That's what I'm looking at too. It's just nice.
Right hand side goes through a 997 at 141.
No, that's their bike.
Brandon Hittella, comp eliminator car.
That's what's going out over the radio. Not I'm taking the AM radio and putting it in there, not anything else. That's them talking. Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, that's no, that's just I'm next to the mic. I'm next to a mic though, is what I'm saying.
Our bikes just went down to track 1470 out of the right lane, tower side with a 1278.
Too fast for me on two wheels, right?
Oh, you bet.
Brenda Hatala pulls up at bright red car over in the Cornwell tool lane.
Brandon used to have a green Chevy too that ran Super Street.
I think that's his wife.
Okay, yeah, I heard that too.
That's what's funny.
So I was like,
Oh, she's been around for a while.
Yeah, I think so. You can tell this one she's back from up. Yeah. We had that one junior one late, that's why I called him a little late. But you know, I have 2 hits too, right?
right now, it's the radio stream, it's their board. They're not turning off their mic when they go.
Brandon Hatala on a single run down the Cornwell tool lane.
Is what I'm sure is happening.
He's a good painter.
it gets off at a third of the way down, it still runs at 10:27. Yeah, at 88. Okay, I'm going to make the last call for the juniors to lane number 6. Last call, juniors, lane number 6.
Copy that, thanks. Bob, if you want to go ahead and call Junior Street, put that car behind them. We can run him right after they're done.
Junior Street, pulled right in behind the junior dragsters. Nice looking 67 Camaro over in the right lane. That's Doug Whitmore. Red light powers up by 015. Camaro out in front. Stops the clock with a 948, 146 miles an hour. Power side, 1044, 129.
Camarno taking on the Nova. Nova on the right-hand lane. Camarno on the left-hand lane. Nova pulls the trigger by 5 thousandths early. A little bit red. Top end, the Nova's going to take the stripe with a 1060-126 to the Camaro that runs a 1204 at 111. As the Pontiac GTO take on the Chevy 2 Nova. Gibbs driving that GTO.
GTO goes 0-2 in the starting line. At the finish line at 1087, 122 miles an hour. Right-hand lane, 1105 and 119. And here come the juniors.
Carter Tobel now out of Ravensdale, Washington. Chief mechanic on that crew is Scott Lucy, the rebuilder.
Our side is Jasper Webster from Covington. 7 years old. Webster's the one with the green light.
Loader goes red over in the right-hand lane. This is his second qualifying run, but he gets down first with an 896 at 69 miles an hour. Webster having some problems, goes 1408 at 45. Abigail Cole now in the tar lane.
Hayden Monte's over in the right lane. Hayden with the better light, 09 with a 7. And the stripe at the 8th mile with a 884, 72 miles an hour. Abigail at 1227. Grayson Gandy, tower side from Tacoma, 7 years old. Dawson Ridge from Kent, Washington, 9 years old, over in the right lane. Gandy goes red by 200s. Dustin Rich goes green over in the right lane, runs the 1199 at 53 miles an hour. Grayson at 1539 at 39 miles an hour. Ray Lee Higgins over in the right lane, making a single. Grayson Folsom Gandy, number 1 qualifier with a 006 green light. Ray Lee red lights by 400s at the 8th mile. 903, 71 miles an hour. So, Ian Theophilus, number 1 qualifier with triple zeros, perfect light. So Junior Lightning. Galen Burley over in the right lane. Alexis Cryer, tower side. Lake Caps is home for Cryer. Kalen Coles Federal Way home. And a pair of red lights. Alexis closer to going green with the 02. 796 by Kalen. Alexis goes 813, 79 miles an hour. 79 miles an hour a pair. That perfect light's keeping Ian Theophilus, number 1 qualifier. Here comes JoJo Dooley from Port Orchard. JoJo goes green with an 05. 797 JoJo's time, 81 miles an hour. Selena Lenahan on the tower side. Ryan Wonky over in the right lane from Renton. Selena from Kirkland. A pair of red lights. Selena closer to going green with the 003 red. 796 for Selena. Ryan goes 791. 81 miles an hour versus 80 miles an hour here on the tower side. Jazzy Bean over in the right lane. Logan Yashiro. Logan from Ording. Jazzy from Lake Taps. Single run, tower side. Logan Yashiro. Logan goes 867, 73 miles an hour. Jazzy Bean experiencing a little bit of... So we're going to try this again. Jazzy Bean, 13 years old, from Lake Taps.
Jazzy Bean again brakes after she launched the car. We're going to roll her back. Hopefully they can get it fixed before we go into first round eliminations.
These will be your last one.
I ate mine, I never got one.
I got a crab shell.
Never had one. I heard it crack once, but I swallowed it. I kid.
Guys, your radio is on.
Oh, no. What's this little kid do on a four-wheeler? That is totally against all the...
Announcer.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for the announcers.
Check your mic.
Better?
Much, I love.
It's yours, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it was halfway up.
Guess who we were talking about? Hippers.
Who, what? I didn't remember talking about it.
I thought we were.
No, not when the... Oh, you were talking about climbing him. That's probably what went on. I thought they were going to make love in the stage lane. Ah! Oh, well. She's got her hair down now. Damn, she got a long hair.
Ian Theophilus, a little bit ahead as he takes off, but he'll be back for round number one eliminations in just a few. He runs a 787 at 81 miles an hour. Last time he was up, it caught a perfect light.
Okay, Junior Street on deck.
I see Lana looks good with tattoos. God. Oh, we're racing.
The mic's off, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put the street tires on deck.
Junior Street pulls forward. Only have one tonight. That surprises me.
No, we usually have two. No, we really have only had one a few times.
This year so far, I think we've only had one.
Mitchell Condon, now Puyallup, 15 years old, riding the 03 Dodge Ram pickup. Big Red Bulb comes on. He'll be back. Next time we see him, he'll be in first round eliminations.
Actually, be in the final line. We just don't have a turnout for shit, do we? That's about all the cars out there. Oh, well, at least they're steady. We're not gonna get any rain tonight. Not on my door. What did you hear over it? What did you hear over it?
Really chatty. It's still on. I think it was just a few minutes ago, but I ran out.
Mine's off.
I think
1343, a 110 out of the right-hand lane to a 1351, a 104 out of the left-hand lane. 006 reaction time for the driver on the right-hand side. $1374.99 over in the right-hand lane to a 1522 at 90 miles an hour in the left-hand lane. As the Honda and a Jeep pull up to take on the quarter mile. Oh, 92 for the right-hand side, but a best reaction time of the two. Chip gets down first with a 1335, 102 to the left lane's 1587 at 89 miles an hour. Ranchero now pulls up over the right-hand lane.
Pass down, 1446 side to tower side. The Cornwell side of the track, 1690. Probably it's 1619, 90 miles an hour. Thirteen 103 miles an hour, right lane, tower side, 1637. 85 miles an hour.
Bernie Plurd driving that hot rod on the right-hand lane. I see his wife Rona out there with him. They moved from the west side of the mountains. They live now over at Sunland Estates. Surprised to see them over on a Friday night. Top end, Bernie goes through at 1084. It's off it way early at 81 miles an hour.
Box Mustang over in the right lane, tower side. Chevy Vega. Both 5 reaction time, right lane. The Vega goes 985, the Mustang 1178. Kevin Rennick over there in the right-hand lane from Kent.
Got a long ways to get here tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay his gas bill.
No, about as far as you and I had to go. Actually, you drove further.
Nice slide for Kevin, 008. 8:15 for Kevin, 163 miles an hour.
See Terry Wilcox, Yasha must be the driver of that yellow dragster out there.
Thirteen, 103 miles an hour. The right tower side, 1208.
Big red bug comes on over in the right-hand lane, your Cornwell tool lane. Green and clean out of the NC Machinery Caterpillar lane. Ends the left lane down first with the 1210 at 115 to the 1340 at 106 of the Cornwell tool lane. As Joshua Wilcox gets ready to take a ride down the right-hand side. Taking on the 68 Camaro over here in the left-hand lane. Joshua left like a shot from a gun. Boom. 60 foot or 1-1 top end. How about a 760, 177 for Yasha on an 07 reaction time. Great run down. 10-10 at 133 for the Camaro in the left-hand lane.
Rick Green taking on Gary Ernish. I don't have a pair of red lights. Rick Green closer to Glenn Green. Ernish goes 10:23, 130 miles an hour. Rick Green, 12:56, 104.
Problems out of the right-hand lane to Porsche going right straight down the left-hand side of the quarter mile. Runs a 1476 at 98 miles an hour. Right lane goes through a 1943 at 57. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I'm looking for juniors to lane number 5. First round eliminations. Juniors, first round eliminations. I need you in lane number 5 now, please.
Jay Mayberry over in the right lane. Super Street car. Camaro here in the tower side. Mayberry, better reaction time, that's an 03. He's shooting for the 1090 Super Street number. Runs the 1101, 141 miles an hour, tower side, 1234. '65 Chevelle, tower side, driven by Dave Connor. Well, Connor with a nice reaction time, 003. Runs 1063, 125 miles an hour. Right-hand lane, 1321. with 111 miles an hour.
Oh, 016 reaction for the bike in the right-hand lane. Pretty even, but it looks like the left-hand lane will take the stripe. Yes, he does at 12:53 at 110 to a 13:58 over in the right-hand lane at 96 miles an hour.
Ten 26, 141 miles an hour tower side. Right-hand lane at 12:45. Motorcycle going down the right-hand lane, making the license pass. Cuts an 05 in a starting lane. Runs a 987, 141 miles an hour.
How about that out of the right lane? A 987, 141. Stacy Hash out and running hard on an 07. He's already down to the stripe. We'll take it. An 8:53 at 150 miles an hour to the left lanes. 13:15 at 94 miles an hour. Good job, Hash. You did a great job running around that quarter mile over in the Cornwell tool lane. License pass and 03 reaction time. He's off it early. No, he's still going. Can he make it? Oh, 10:15, 133. Bruce White now in the Camaro, the beautiful flame Camaro from the right-hand lane, taking on David Knutson out of Kent.
Knutson, better reaction time, puts an 03 with a 1. 10:27 for Knutson. Well, Archer doesn't own that car anymore. That's Bruce White. Runs 10:29.
I was just saying, Archer was a little angry after he sold it, tried to buy it back, and Bruce said, "Nope, I like this car."
I don't blame him. I like that car too.
Oh, it's a neat hot rod. There's no doubt about it.
Do you see the times on the leaderboard here? 10:27 to a 10:29.
How about a 1247 and 154 out of the right-hand lane? As you saw, Megan jumped the gun just a bit, went through the light. She had to back it up, so she's going to get a single run down the left-hand side of the quarter mile. Megan with an 01 reaction time, great reaction time. She makes a run down the left-hand side. She shuts it off. How about a 925 at 173? Once again, I'm looking for juniors. Juniors, I need you to lanes 5 and 6.
Oh, here comes Speed Factory tower side. .818 for Speed Factory, 185 miles an hour. Corvette goes 988, 165 miles an hour.
Honda Civic, last time he went down, he was in the left lane, he went 153 miles an hour. Let's see what he can do this time over in the right-hand lane.
That answer your question? Another 153 mile an hour pass.
Another one with a 980. I gotta love it. The ET's 980 at 153.
Covington has its own craft brewery. It's called Four Horsemen Brewery, and it's right around the corner on 148th Avenue Southeast. Four Horsemen Brewery uses only Washington-bound ingredients, which makes their craft beer style original. Check them out, Four Horsemen Brewery.
Okay, here come the juniors. First round eliminations.
Looks like a Ford Lightning truck, tower side. Goes red by 200ths. Kind of matches his truck. His truck is red. Runs 1432, 97 miles an hour. I guess that's not a Lightning. So here come the juniors, the future of the NHRA. And his first round. It's Ray Lee Higgins, tower side from Olympia, dial 9 flat, giving away a big head start too.
Abigail Cole over in the right-hand lane. This is Junior Thunder. Okay, I got a black Mercedes just pulled in that's blocking a racer's spot. So if you own a black Mercedes-Benz, move it now, please.
You just missed Ray Lee Higgins, 008 green light, and takes the win light with a 906, 70 miles an hour.
Abigail runner-up. Losing effort probably was a 1235 at 51 miles an hour. Jasper Webster now out of Covington over in the right-hand lane.
Our side's Hayden Montes. Aiden from Fossil, Oregon, 12 years old. Big head start. And Jasper goes right on the starting line. Winning time, Tower side, 9:01, 70 miles an hour.
Losing effort in the right lane of 14:11 at 44 miles an hour. Dawson Ridge now. Out of Kent, 9-year-old Junior Thunder over in the right-hand lane.
Cody Tabell, Tower side from Ravensdale. One of these cars is a commanding lead in the reaction time. But the wind light goes to just Dawson Ridge over in the right lane as Kodak breaks out. Grayson Folsom Gandy, Tower side, 7 years old from Tacoma. Looks like he's going to get a single. Odd number of cars in the class, obviously. So Gandy on a single goes 15:44, 39 miles an hour, takes rim. J.J. Dooley, Tower side, from Port Orchard. Selena Lenahan over in the right lane. Wow, look at the head start. There is no on. 796 styles on both sides.
Well, this is the kind of racing I like. Heads up. Rock and roll. JoJo and Selena having at it right off the starting line down there.
Oh, JoJo pulls it out as Selena goes right on the starting line. 796 to dial. Winning time, 791. Lexus Cryer, Tower side, late taps.
Borelli over in the right-hand lane out of Federal Way, 13 years old, dials a 790.
Who gets the head start? It would be Alexis. Russ's Clyde goes led by 500ths. Galen Borelli takes a win with a 004 on the starting line, runs 794 and a 790, takes the win. Ian Theophilus from Port Orchard, Tower Side, 16 years old, dialed 794.
And Logan Yascredo out of Ordine. Junior Layton dials an 866 over the right-hand lane, so he's going to get the head start, Logan is.
Esquerdo, he's taking his time staging. Top elbow in both lanes.
Just don't want to take too long. Ian's got to get in now.
At the 8th mile. You see Esquerdo takes the win. Reaction time went to Theophilus, but the win light goes to Logan.
Look at the margin of victory, 25 ten-thousandths of a second. Wow.
John. Ron Ronke, Tower Side, 790 is the dial, giving away the head start to Jazzy Bean. Jazzy from Lake Taps, 13 years old. Ryan from Renton, 14 years old.
So Ryan Wonky and Jazzy Bean, as Ray just said. Jazzy's going to get the head start right-hand side.
Jazzy goes red, automatic win for Ryan. Ryan dialed 790, takes a win with a 794, 81 miles an hour.
Junior Street pulling up this final round here.
That's Mitchell Condon from Puyallup, 15 years old, in an 03 Dodge.
Winning time was 10:20 at 69 miles an hour. He was on a single, and that was a final, so he gets the whole works tonight. Congratulations, Mitchell. Big Buick in the left-hand lane taking on a turbo Mustang out of the right-hand lane. Mustang's going to take the right-hand lane with a 1032, 135 to an 1182 in the left lane at 114.
Matt Condon driving a 67 Dart power side. Nice looking Dart.
I don't know who's driving Ed Hodder's dragster in the right lane, but I see Ed standing right beside it.
Nice 008 reaction time in the right lane. In an 894 at the finish line, 174 miles an hour. Condon in the Dart, 1118, 120 miles an hour. I think that's Jim Van Cleve the third over there in the right lane.
You know what, Ray? I think you're absolutely right. I remember when Jim Van Cleve Sr. used to race, then his son raced, now his son's racing.
Well, Jim Van Cleve's senior wife also raced a Ford.
That's right.
.1046, 125 miles an hour. Emmett McKillop driving the rear engine dragster in the right lane. Let's see if he's going to shoot for the 890 Super Comp number. .904. 178 miles an hour. Okay, reaction time for the dragster. Whoops, Rick's out in front. However, dragster gets to the finish line first with a 923, 167 miles an hour. The little pickup truck, 955 at 137. This car's not even moving it. It looks fast.
Something about those split windows with that big wing. That even sounds good. Tough break, they're backing him back out. He'll be back once he fits what happened out there. Okay, we got a snowmobile and a motorcycle. These snowmobiles are plenty fast. You notice you got a set of wheels on the back. They'll lift it up to haul those out. They just use them to save the belt as they're coming up. These things are really fun to watch, I'll tell you.
I don't think I'd ride one, though.
I might do that over a motorcycle. Motorcycles scare me.
Both of them scare me.
Yeah, now that I look at it, maybe you're right.
No road bar? I'm scared.
It makes a good point, Ray. Yes, it does. Of course, you go 160 on a motorcycle, right? No roll bar.
Yeah, but they got leathers. Lots of protection, right?
Right, snowmobile wasting no time to get down to the finish line. Runs a 911 at 144. The motorcycle left lane runs at 1285 by 110 miles an hour. Funny quick for a snowmobile though, 911, 144 out of the right-hand lane.
.984, 142 miles an hour out of the right lane.
Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Juniors, round number 2. I need you to lane number 5. Juniors, round number 2. I need you to lane number 5, please.
.1183, 131 miles an hour out that last pass. Here comes the license pass of this Buick. .1013, 133 miles an hour.
Okay, listen up, people. 4 horsemen, they're making their last call. If you're hungry, thirsty, you want to go over to the 4 horsemen's, the green building in the upper pulpit area. They've got great food, a great menu. They've got all the ice cold Coca-Cola products, adult beverages. Also, they have ice cream, vanilla or chocolate. So this is their last call. They'll probably be open till about 8. So if you're hungry or thirsty or like ice cream, head over to the 4 horsemen because they'll be closing up shortly.
You forgot to mention the ice cream comes with or without sprinkles.
Yes, it does. How about that Tesla? You can't even hear it going down. Look at the time. On 11:55 at 1:16 of a Tesla. Yes, indeed, folks. That is an electric car.
Shocking.
Yeah, they really are. They're nice cars. A friend of mine's got one. I got to drive it one time, and boy, they are nice cars to drive. Little bit squirrely off the start line of the left lane.
He picked the front wheels up kind of funny, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Something wasn't right.
Really
when he
twisted.
launched. Right lane goes through on an O2 reaction at 10:43 at 1:28. Oh, once again, I'm looking for the winners of the last race in juniors. To the lanes, please. The second round eliminations coming up. Here come the juniors.
This is round 2.
Hayden Monte out of Fossil, Oregon in the right-hand lane. 12 years old, dials 890.
Grayson, Folsom, Dandy. 7 years old out of Tacoma, Tower Side. 1544 is the dial. 7 years old. So Tacoma, Washington, facing off against Fossil, Oregon.
What a head start, all right.
Big head start.
Drop in your winner out of the right-hand lane. It's Monty, a 901 on the 890 at 70 miles an hour. Losing effort was a 1580 on the 1544 at 38 miles an hour.
Here comes Ray Lee Higgins from Olympia, 12 years old, dialed 902.
And Dawson Ridge out of Kent, 9 years old, dials an 1197 over in the right-hand lane.
Win light, Tower Side for Ray Lee Higgins. Winning time is the 903 on a 902 dial.
Losing effort was a 1205 of 53 for Ridge. JoJo Dooley now pulls up the left-hand lane.
Ryan Warnke over in the other lane. A 790 dial, both lanes.
Both lanes, heads up racing. I love it. Drop in, your winner out of the left-hand lane. JoJo Dooley got it with a 792, 80 miles an hour. Warnke runner-up, actually losing effort, is a 792 with a 3. They both ran the same number at 80 miles an hour. Wow.
What did it was reaction time.
Yeah, there was a lot of difference in the reaction time. About 6/10, right?
That's what it looks like to me. Logan Yoshido, Tower Side from Ordine, Washington, 16 years old. Kalen Borelli over in the right lane. 13-year-old from Federal Way. Wow, you're swerving with a big headlight, red light. Pirelli automatic win, cuts an 04 on the starting line. Dials a 790, runs a 797 for the win.
.815 at 80 miles an hour on that single run down the Cornwell tool lane.
Joshua Wilcox over in the right lane, in the rear engine direction. Joshua Wilcox, 05 starting line at the finish, 7:52, 185 miles.
Really a good run for Yosh, I'll tell you that. 14:54 at 93 over the left-hand lane.
Jim Maybury stages the Vega. Well, the Vega look-alike. It's actually a Pontiac Astra.
She's got to fly right by it. A little slow off the start line, but boy, you pass Maybury. Runs an 8 flat at 161. Maybury goes through in the Pontiac at 1094 at 140.
A lot closer to the 1090 index for Super Street than he's been running.
Yep, and tomorrow and Sunday we have real live races out here. Good drive. Honda Civic now over in the left-hand lane.
Southern 58 tower side, 116 miles an hour.
Cycles up now. Stacy Bush over in the left-hand lane out of Edenville. Bush goes through. How about this? An 855 at 148 to the 1225 in the right-hand lane at 121 miles an hour. On a single run going down the right-hand side. How about this? A 1362 at 93 miles an hour. That's slick cars in the water box.
And stops the 28 miles an hour in the right lane.
Left lane goes through on a red light start at 1166 at 118.
Kevin Rennick on a Loma Vega. Those three lights are running. Eight 162. $1130, 132. Right, a 1524. $1324 versus the 1369.
comes Ed Harder with the Cobalt Camaro.
Out on 02 action time running down the right hand side. But 974 at 132. That goes red. 01 reaction time. Extra goes through a top end and 8 at 169. The big truck still on the way to the finish line. Gets down with a 1407 at 97 miles an hour. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I'm looking for juniors back to the lanes. Round number 3, juniors, I need you to the lanes, round number 3.
Yes, this is a super gas. Going to go for 410. Guessing he's going to shoot. $989 with only 6th hour away from the 996 at 165 miles an hour.
Barney Plurd now pulls up in that Lowen Dragster here in the left-hand lane. Take toward that spread window. I see his wife Rana's over there. Take some pictures.
Gordon decided that 890. Is he going for super?
I don't know that. What is this one? Bernie Plurd all the way from Sunland Estates. Well, Bernie Pro's going to get a single down the left-hand lane.
Goes right by 1,000ths of a second.
I want to welcome the Washington State Patrol here tonight. I see them over there. All having a great time.
Outdoor reaction time with a 0 right-hand lane. And a 10:02 to 144 tires.
Once again, I'm looking for juniors. Program eliminations to the lanes, please. Once again, juniors, I need you in the please.
Side, 1175, 114 miles an hour.
Well, 6 out of the left-hand lane will take the stripe with an 11.54, 115. Right-hand side goes through 16.26 at 94 miles an hour. Camaro and a Porsche now pull up to the starting line.
That reaction time comes out of the right lane and 5 with a 9. 1351 miles an hour, right power side is a 1460, 98 miles an hour. Gary Ermish over in the right lane. Bruce White,
Better reaction time, cuts an out, runs 10:21, 33 miles an hour. Finish 10:33. Reaction time 888, 178 miles an hour. Right hand lane 953 to 137. SS Malibu car. Right lane gets there first off the starting line at the finish. 10:47, 120.
Green goes through at 12:55 at 104 on the 06. Right lane goes through on a red light start 13:48 at 112. Junior Thunder, final. Ray Lee Higgins in the tower side. And Hayden Monte out of Fossil, Oregon, 2009 flat. 903, so only 3 difference handicap. Ray Higgins will lead 0.03 of a second sooner. Final round in Junior Thunder. The winner comes out of the left hand 4 on the 903, 70 miles an hour. Money breaks out. 2009 flat runs a 990 or 899 with the 3, breaks out by 7 thousandths. Wow. Congratulations to Ray Lee Higgins.
winner tonight. Here comes the final. Junior. Oh, this is the testing tune. Right?
Okay, now we've got a final lightning coming up.
Here comes the final. Junior Lightning. Jordan Dooley, tower side. Jojo from Port Orford, 15 years old. Taking on Kalen Borelli over in the right lane. Federal Way, 13 years old. Kalen dialed 794. Jojo dialed 790. 400 difference in the handicap. So handicap only 400ths of a difference. Jojo giving away 400ths on the starting line. Red light. Jojo closer to gone green. She only by 3 thousandths. Jojo takes the win. 790s to dial. Runs 786. Congratulations to Jordan Dooley.
Borelli runner up with a 796 at 80 miles an hour. But Jojo Dooley, your winner in Lightning. Congratulations to Jojo. Good to see the State Patrol out here tonight. Always welcome here, you know that. No problem. They're just start testing their hot rod tonight. Takes the early turn out at the top end.
Main ambulance tower side. That's Condon over the right lane. Our side 10-12.
I had a bunch of those in my throat a while ago too. Okay, so the snack bar is officially closed. I just looked over. There's no lights, no nothing.
Handle strikes, but gets there first. 889 with